Hi everybody, my name is Beth. If you have been a regular attender at Space4, you've probably met me at some point. I've been involved with Space4 for a while now, probably getting on for about 4 years I think, and I started off volunteering on Thursday afternoons, and then I progressed on to Fridays and Saturdays, and I run the Cake and Chat group on a Friday and the Space4 Saturday group. Anyway, the reason I'm talking to you today is that Christine has asked me to produce a weekly wellbeing video to be posted on the Space4 page for the duration of lockdown and the current situation that we're in. Now, I think a lot of us have been affected in a number of different ways by lockdown and the threat of coronavirus and the COVID-19. We may be anxious or worrying a lot about getting ill or becoming ill, our family becoming ill. We may be struggling because we're lonely and not mixing with people that we would usually see. It may be that we're struggling to get our heads around the changing rules and the way of life, and finding that unsettling. I think maybe I've been asked to take this on because in the past I was an occupational therapist, and I worked primarily in mental health, but I covered both physical and mental health areas at various points. But more than that, I have lived experience of mental health issues and physical long-term health problems as well. That being said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not currently a registered health professional, so I can't provide definitive health advice, but what I can do is give some ideas about ways that might help us at the current time, and not all of these ideas will work for everybody. But what we really want to know is, what is it that you are struggling with during these strange and unusual times? What would you like to cover in the coming weeks? So it may be that you are like I've said already, it may be that you're worrying about getting ill or worrying about a loved one becoming ill, and you want ideas about how to manage your worry. It may be due to getting ideas about how to get used to a different way of living and how to live within the current situation that is being inflicted on us, really. It might be that you would like ideas of how to relax, and maybe some mindfulness techniques. It might be that you want ideas on how to manage your physical well-being at this time of great stress, or you might want ideas of how to support a loved one when you can't be with them. Or maybe it's something else entirely, but we'd love it if you could share your ideas with us. If you could comment on this video, that's fine, that would be great. Or if you want to message the page so that you can talk to us more confidentially, that's great too. So give some thought to that and let me know. But I'm not going to do a full session today, but I do just want to say something about not coping. And I think for me, it feels like other people are coping really well. And Facebook and social media can be wonderful, and we're relying so much more on digital communication and social media at the moment in order to connect with other people. But sometimes it can feel like other people are coping very well and managing to run everything smoothly, but maybe you feel that you're not. I know I had a very bad week last week when I was struggling with the situation and struggling to get out of bed some days. And really what I want to just say is that it may seem that other people are coping really well, but we can never really know. And I think when you start talking to people properly, everybody is struggling with some aspect of living at the moment. It may be that one person's struggles are more obvious than another person's struggles, but that doesn't mean that because your struggles aren't obvious, they're not there. And so there's two things really. Encourage you to be aware that, you know, other people are struggling and there's not something unusual about you if you're finding it difficult. Don't feel guilty if you're not cleaning the house from top to bottom every day and learning to speak sign language or Italian or doing a course in astrophysics online. I think we are in quite extraordinary circumstances at the moment, and surviving is enough for most of us, and getting through. I saw a very annoying meme on Facebook which said something along the lines of, when we come out of the other end of this, if your house isn't spotless and you haven't learnt a new skill, then your time has been wasted. And I disagree with that very strongly. There's another cartoon I've seen on Facebook, which is a little man in a rowing boat on a stormy seas, and he's rowing for all he's worth. And the caption says something along the lines of, now is not the time to finish writing your book. And there's another one that was similar that I've seen, a meme that said, we are not all in the same boat, but we are all in the same storm. And what I think we need to do is concentrate on rowing the boat. And anything extra to that is a bonus, and that's great if you can do that. But the most important thing is to survive through this storm. And just getting through from day to day will be harder in these times than it is normally. And so there's no need to feel guilty if you haven't managed to achieve everything that you would normally achieve even, because living with the constant barrage of new information, with the fear around coronavirus, and the loss of a way of life, potentially the loss of loved ones, whether related to coronavirus or not, the loss of contact with other people. These are all big things to deal with. And so really my message for today is to just check up on each other, even if we think our friends and family are coping well, just to really ask them, how are you managing? And is there anything I can do to help? And it doesn't have to be a big thing that's a big extra commitment on you. It may be as simple as sending a text message every other day just to say, I'm thinking about you. And if you're struggling yourself, don't beat yourself up, and do speak to somebody about it. Speak to a friend or a family member, or speak to your doctor if you think that might be appropriate. And I'm sure your doctor won't be surprised or think it's a waste of time, because I know many people are in the same boat. If you find it difficult to do those things, you could speak to the Samaritans. Their number is 116123. They are quite busy at the moment, and you might find that you don't get through the first time, but that's fine, keep trying. You don't have to be at the end of your tether to ring the Samaritans. They like to encourage people to ring them even in the early stage of worry or struggling, and so they want everybody to feel welcome to do that. So I think that's about it for today. Do let us know what you would like to be covered in these sessions. Comment below, or send us a message on the Space4 Facebook page. And I will see you again next week.